going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 23 of Love in Black and White. I am your co-host, the one, the only, Manuelis Rojas Martin Junior, aka Manny Martin, aka yeah, you know
The
how we
Junior.
do.
I
The
haven't heard the
Junior,
Junior
yeah,
before. I like Junior.
Junior. And the one, the only, Jason J. Hollingsworth, aka Big Irish J, aka Big Sexy, aka Big Smooth. You know how we do.
AKA J2, J Dub, J
Yeah.
Squared, J
Well,
Love.
thank you everybody for joining us this evening. Me hermano, we are very tired today. I have no idea why. We probably stayed up and celebrated, unfortunately, the last Brady victory, which is actually, you know what, just appreciate greatness. I don't really like him that much, but it's pretty cool to watch.
I was wrinkles is why I'm fucking tired. I had a couple of people over here, and he was going crazy while they were here, and then they left. Whatever the game gets over at what 6-7, and then he just passed out, and he slept through the night until I was playing video games, and then at like 2. I was like, all right, let's go to bed. And he's like, wait, we're up now, right? We're up. And I was like,
Oh,
motherfucker.
shit. Well, thank you, Jay, for having a super spreader event. We really appreciate it.
You know what's funny is literally everybody that was here except
Mhm.
me has all, unless I had it and just don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a lot of the things that they say you could be asymptomatic. Like I have the blood type, which is like, I think I'm O positive or O negative. And then
Yeah.
being a ginger, like we have more vitamin D or some shit. Anyways,
Oh, shit, that vitamin dick. What?
but all of them, they've all already had it. They don't have it currently, and I was like, all right.
Man, you know, just real quick, last thing I was gonna say, that shit is scary because it's like they're finding out long term people are having heart problems and fucking like scarring of the lungs.
Do you
And
know Carlos Rodriguez?
Yeah.
So Carlos just moved in. He's two or three doors down. He was one of the people that came over. He had it, and he said like the last week of it really fucked with him, and he had like the head shit and loopy and all that.
Damn. Oh man. Who knows? I mean, I probably had it with all the people, you know, that I was, like I was actually, here's the thing. I was on the bus. I know we're not jumping in. I apologize, fans. We will. Jesus.
On the bus.
But I was riding the bus. You
Thanks
know,
for
this was
being
like
part of the super spreader.
Well, hey, I just want to say this was in February before we knew what we were supposed to be doing. And for all we know, people were spreading it back then. So could have, you know, you just never know. But where we left you last week, thank you guys so much for tuning back in, is how do you two feel about manscaping?
I usually like my men to be yeah, I'm assuming they mean for ourselves. Like, I think Manny should grow his bush. I mean, I think
you know, and this question can actually go both ways.
I bet it can.
Oh yeah. I'll start. For me, myself, you know, I think it's important for men to groom, you know, and whatever you want to do, just, you know, kind of keep it clean down there. You don't want anybody just going into a rainforest, you know, trying to search for your junk, you know, and you know, I would say, you know, same the other way. You know what I mean? Like if you know, just keep it a little, you know, trimmed. I'm not saying you gotta like scorch the earth, but if you want
Scorch the earth.
you know what I mean? Yeah, you can do what you gotta do. But yeah, I think grooming's great. You know, men, if you're gonna go ahead and groom, just make sure that you're consistent. Don't just leave sideburns like near your legs. You know what I mean? Make sure you get it all. So, but
Fucking,
also
you look like an elephant with George Jefferson's hair.
Wheezy, what the?
So I manscape. I have clippers, so I keep it. I mean, I'm not bald, but I have like you know, I trim it, keep it short, and then yeah, I
put somebody's initials in it when it's right.
Yeah, it's weird. The initials are MMJ. Actually, the dick is the J. It curves. It's an M and an M on each side. That's a big junior.
So stupid. Oh my god, yeah.
And as far as like my mate, I if she's bald, bare, cool. If she is like trimmed, cool. I don't know if I want like I wouldn't want like a fucking huge bush, I guess. Or I guess I wouldn't care as long as, you know, around the the goal, you might
Yeah.
say. Uh, if you keep that tidy, then that's cool, and yeah,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, I think it's just, I think it's, I mean, nobody, I don't mind a little retro every now and then. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like,
I don't
you
want it to
know,
look like that desert monster in Star Wars that fucking Luke Skywalker fucking
what was that thing called?
I
Holy shit!
forget.
Yeah, yeah, this was
Was it on
hilarious.
Hoth, the island
Yeah.
or the planet Hoth or whatever? I
Oh,
don't
I was
fucking,
thinking it was on
or
when
maybe
they're the Sarlacc pit.
that's what it is. Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I'm about to go down on your Sarlacc pit.
But I think that both it could be said both ways, right?
Yeah,
Because it's like if you're showing your partner some love and you can want to go that region, I think that you don't want them to come up with a mouthful of hair. That might be a
yeah. I don't
little
want to be like when you're around somebody that has the cat.
yeah.
Like when I'm at your place and I'm like,
What the?
yeah.
Ugh. Oh my god. Oh
I'm trying to see where we're at. Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
that yeah, and ooh, Valentine's Day. Yeah, so today is the what is today? Today's the 8th, so this comes out the 9th. Yeah,
Yep.
so we'll have passed Valentine's Day for the next episode. So this is perfect. So Jay and Manny with Valentine's Day a week out. What are your ideas of a romantic night with a significant other? What is your idea of a fun date pre-pandemic and post-pandemic? Great question.
Ooh.
Um, well, what's your? I'll let you. The I'm out of
Yeah.
practice. You're in practice.
Yeah, yeah. Gosh, that's a great question. With Valentine's Day, I mean, you can't ever let a Valentine's Day go by without doing something special for your lady. Even if you guys are like, oh, let's not even do nothing. Don't fall for that shit, man. We've all been there where your lady's like, I'm just it's not an important day to me. It's an important day to every woman, you know, an important day to, quite a few men, so just make sure that you're attentive to what your partner needs. And so for me, I might start the day off. We talked about this previously in another episode. Love languages. I know that one of my ladies' love languages is is gifts from Starbucks. So I might start off with
Yeah.
a coffee to get her day going right. They ran out of 8 grain rolls, so maybe some egg bites, whatever, just a tasty little breakfast. Um, and then I would say, so pre-pandemic, we used to do things like we love movies, so we would go do a movie during the day, and then we would do dinner at night. Um, and if it was, also pre-pandemic, we might go stay in a hotel for the night or go travel somewhere just for the weekend, and then come back. But I think during this pandemic, it's going to be a little more challenging. What we might end up doing is do my little drive-in date that I told you we do, is where we go sit on the waterfront, and then we just kind of put a phone up and we
Oh,
watch a movie together, and then we get takeout, and then we just sit in the car and we eat while listening and watching a movie. And so
right
and
now
watching the
every
stars.
woman is like, oh,
Girl.
he is the nice one. What the fuck is Jay gonna say?
Jay's like, yeah, so I'll probably go dick you down about 9:30.
Yeah, no. I'll be behind your guys' car with my date, just going like, "Can you see their fucking phone?
They
I
got
only got so
unlimited
much
data.
data." I would say, let me make sure I get the verbiage right on this. Like, good Valentine's Day date, day week out. What do you got to do? Romantic night with a significant other. Um, and then there was a part two to that. Significant. What was your idea of a fun date? Okay. Romantic date. So one thing with being here in Vegas, like when we're in Seattle, I know like spots. Like
Right.
I knew like nice views. Like I knew restaurants that would have cool views and be romantic and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's and I have always moved around so much that it's like you get to new places and you're like, oh, fuck you. And then you have to kind of rely on Yelp or fucking
Yeah.
Google and shit and stuff like that. So here, if I'm here, I mean, the thing is, there's so much stuff to do here if it's all open. So, a romantic thing, uh, and this will also go probably for like a cool fun date, is if I know her interests, if I know her and I know what her interests, I would try and like find something related to that, like maybe do one of the Cirque du Soleil shows. What are you laughing at?
I'm just, I was like, get one of those geriatric buses and take them to Reno. I'm just fucking with you. I'm sorry they called you Uncle Jay. Anyway, sorry. Okay, yep. I just want to
As long
say
as it's not
on
Uncle Tom. Jesus Christ.
I just want to
Fucking
say here on the Love and Black and White podcast, we just want to say ageism is never appropriate. That no matter what
yeah.
age you are perfect at that age. Don't try to be anything different. So
I
yeah.
love how you fucking shit on me. You were ageist, and now you're fucking
I know.
you're
It was
covered
wrong.
up. You
It
piece
was
of shit.
wrong. It was wrong. I'm
Um,
sorry. I love you. Happy early
yeah.
Valentine's Day.
So we'll probably use our AARP, go to Old Country Buffet. You motherfucker. Maybe go to the park, feed some pigeons. That's what old people do, right? Fucking you piece of shit. No,
Oh my
I would
god.
yeah, I would probably like I mean the thing with Vegas is when it's open, you can do anything. So
Right.
maybe like a Cirque du Soleil show,
Mm.
you know, dinner with this, of course, but like or like this may sound cheesy
Yeah, yeah.
up front, but when I tell you like let's say if she's a maybe she's a Prince fan or
Okay.
Michael Jackson, me and Greg Wilson, I don't know if you know Greg, great dude, but
Hmm.
it was one of the few times I got high, but we got high, we had an off night of shows and we went and saw the Prince. Dude, this guy
Spot
was
on.
fucking amazing. And then they actually had a Morris Day guy come in too, and they were
What?
doing the fuck yeah. Dude, it was and we had a fucking blast. Yeah, dude. It was so goddamn fun. So like if you know, maybe if there's certain musician or music here and maybe even the actual people here, like I think the
Dude,
fucking who was it?
that's really such a great idea. I mean, I forgot that's another thing post pandemic, or I mean pre pandemic, like concerts, like
Mm,
such a great. I mean, me and you're huge music fans,
yeah.
and just being able to be with your lady and really just like if you could hit a D'Angelo concert, you know what I
And
mean?
that's the
Like,
other thing too is you have like the actual artists that if they're alive that have
mm-hmm.
residencies here, you know, like
Yeah.
I think it was Journey was here for a minute, but so like
Okay.
you know if you know what her interests are and you know you take some initiative and do some research, maybe a musical thing or like I said, or you know a Cirque du Soleil show, or maybe there's a theme you know this is kind of far-fetched, but just as an example, like let's say she was huge into Star Wars for whatever
Okay.
reason, you know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like they have the fucking Star Wars VR thing where it's a VR thing, but you walk around like they have a set. You walk around
What?
and you have like a gun and you have a jacket that vibrates and shit, you know. So
Yeah.
that would be more fun than romantic. Oh Jesus, I just kicked my
Damn.
shit.
You hear that? You hear that, ladies out there? Like Jay takes the time to get to know what you want in life,
I mean,
and
if
just
you're
want.
worth it.
I mean, you know.
No, I and speaking to the fun thing, so that the romantic thing though, yeah, I would do dinner somewhere and then like maybe a show or concert or whatever related, and I'd look into that, or you know, or find something, you know, there's maybe she's in if she's I don't know, I'd need to know what her interests are. A
Yeah. Yeah.
fun thing, like dude, there's so much. Again, it's Vegas, it's the entertainment capital of the world. You got there's the like a ghost museum here, there's the mob museum here,
See.
which obviously those are more things I'm probably interested in, but like I remember one time this girl I went out with, this is when I was living in Oregon, and we met and I told her it was a choose, I forget her name, like let's say it was Sarah, choose Sarah's choose your own adventure date.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, you are basically going to pick the date. And so I would give her, I had like four things, and like she would pull one, and then that would like be the first part, and then she pulled
Okay.
the second thing, that was the second part, and then there was like the third thing, which was like four pieces of paper that all said "fucking." No, but I did. I had like it was like a 3-part date, and like each one she pulled, and it was adventurous, and neither one of us knew what was going to happen. It ended up being and that was really fun. So that would be like that'd be a fun pre-pandemic fun date. Now post-pandemic, it's fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, like you know, you're with someone, so like with me, it's like you know, it's such a weird vibe now with online dating. Like before, you know, like the steps are you match with somebody, then you talk for a little bit, maybe not even be that long. Hey, we're vibing, let's swap numbers. Okay, you swap numbers and you're texting and talking. All right, you want to get a drink this week in a day or two. But now it's like, okay, you match and then you talk on that and you're like, I mean, I guess we can talk on the phone, but we're kind of do the same shit that we're kind of doing here because we're probably
Yeah.
not going to meet for a while. It's so it's like you're kind of like in limbo dating right now.
Yeah, see that's the hardest part. It's like, yeah, I'm lucky to have somebody because we don't have to worry about the social distancing and everything else, and we can just be creative. But with you, it's like, yeah, some people have to be more cautious than others because it's like they don't have typo. They're not gingers, you know. So it's like you could end up killing the person that you were interested in if you're not careful. So
Just let me say this too, like I am doing shows, and I appreciate not everybody, but I mean, a lot of people are like, be safe. And then also like, oh man, I don't know if you should be doing that. And one, I totally understand and respect that. And I am, I think I could say confidently, I'm being as cautious as you can while doing it. Like, I mean, I wear my mask, in the club right until I go up on stage. We use a different mic, we use a different microphone cover,
wow.
and I'm washing my hands nonstop. They have, all the antibacterial shit, and I mean, so I like to think that I'm being as cautious as possible. Of course, now that I've said that, I'll probably catch it tomorrow. Fucking Murphy's Law.
Yeah, man, those are great. Let's see. Okay, so this is more of a deep question that was presented to us. What are your thoughts on how long a couple should wait to have children?
9 months.
Yeah, yeah, that's a tough
That's
one. I
pretty
mean,
good, right? That's a good
yeah,
one.
yeah, I think that was on point. I'll give you that one.
It's pretty quick.
I think,
Even tired,
girl,
still got it.
boom. I will say it. It definitely depends where you're at, how old you are. But I would say don't put it off too long because I think the longer you wait, the more risk you are of having like defects. With your kids. So you know, ideally, I would say be married for roughly what's up this motherfucker. What's so
As you
funny?
said that, like,
Yeah.
if you watch this back, you don't know, but like anybody
Yeah.
watching me, as you said that and you said defects, I went like this. Jesus.
But
Defects?
yeah, well, I mean, just any birth anomalies, you know what I mean? Like you can have
Oh,
those. Yeah,
woo.
there you go.
Fancy
Little,
words.
yeah, but yeah, a little bit of scientificness
It's
behind
funny
that.
you say that about
Yeah.
like getting older. I think you might have heard me tell this joke, but I have a joke where I say, I don't have any kids. I don't know if I want any, but if I do, I feel like I need to hurry up because I have old cum.
I remember that one.
I just love saying old cum and that initial shock of people like, did he just say old cum? And then I'm like, I'm like, my young cum had a 6-pack, could run a 7-minute mile, but my old cum has a bad knee and IBS.
Dude,
So dumb.
there are certain jokes that I just love telling. So for instance, like where you have your old cum joke, I have one where this is kind of based on a true story. I made out with this Olympic volleyball athlete when I was in my early 20s, and we went to high school together, but she ended up becoming like an Olympic volleyball player. And I was just like talking about what it would have been like to have sex with her because when she kissed me, she pushed me up against the wall and I couldn't get off. I tried
I
to
think I
pivot
remember
off.
this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was just thinking, like during sex, like I would look at her and be like, "Did you just come at me?" You know what I mean? It's so stupid.
Yeah, it's like those little lines that are like sometimes are throwaway. Like I did and I know we're kind of getting off dating and relationship. I'll make this quick, but
Yeah, yeah.
I did this midnight show the other night, and I'm trying to work out the jokes about my mom passing, right?
Right.
And this guy was filming this thing, and it's like telling stories, and he wanted to submit my story, so he was like, "Can you do this stuff about your mom passing?" I was like, I told the guy, I was like, I haven't done any of this on stage. I did it
Yeah.
like an Instagram post, and I told people I would have to, but I'm like, I'll try it. So
Yeah.
I had said, and it's a line, and then I did a couple shows where I tried it, but it's a line that it doesn't even necessarily get a huge response, but to me, it's hilarious. Where I said, I was talking about COVID, and I was like, anybody? I raised my hand. I go, anybody else's mom die last year? And like, and then I said something about like I was going to tell some jokes about it or stories about it, and a couple people like, oh, and I go, first of all, I go, it's my mom. You don't even know her. You don't know what kind of person she was. She could be you don't know. And I go, so you guys got to laugh at this. Otherwise, my mom's death will be for nothing.
It's so stupid.
But the comics love that. Not, but
Yeah,
it was like, but anyways.
it's so hard. And last thing we'll say
Yeah.
about just comedy in general. it's so tough when you have a great bit that you're working on and somebody wants to record it because you're like, I might want to save that for a special. And, if this could get on HBO,
Mhm.
is this the one I want to put out in the world? So,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, he would. Luckily, he was like, "We just need a like a clip, and we're only going to use like one line or something." So when I was done, he was like, "Oh, that was perfect." So I was like, "All right."
Nice. There you go. Yeah. But back to our question about how long you should wait till I have kids. I think it's important to enjoy yourself in a marriage or a relationship first. You know, like adding kids is a whole different layer to a relationship. And I would definitely say that, if you're in your early 20s, travel, you know what I mean? See the world together, do things together, have fun. Because the moment you introduce a kid, your whole world is probably going to change. And you're going to have to plan everything around that child, at least for, 18 years. And, that's kind of where I stand. So I'd say give it a good maybe 4 years, 3 years before
After
you,
you get into a relationship with someone.
yeah, yeah, or
Yeah,
after you're married, and
yeah.
so.
I mean, yeah. I can't imagine. I mean, I would imagine it'd be almost as difficult as like raising a puppy, like I'm doing right
Oh
now.
my God, you know what? I got to give hats off to you because you are quite the dog dad. I mean, I just want to
I'm
say
I'm
it's a
everything I hate with fucking pet owners. God.
carry him around in a harness and
Oh
shit.
God, yeah, that
Oh,
picture. I
yeah.
should post that picture one time. That was literally. I don't know if we talked about this before. I got a harness from fucking Amazon where I put wrinkles in the harness, and he's just sitting there. It's like a baby Bjorn, and he's just sitting there, and he's like, "What the fuck is happening?" And I took a picture in the mirror. I was laughing so hard, and I
Oh,
just sent it to the Hollings Worthless crew, and fucking they were like,
yeah.
"Too far, too
Yeah.
far, Jay."
Tune in to the Hollingsworth tomorrow. I promise you we have some more updates on Don Wrinkles that you will love
Oh
and
yeah,
will
yeah.
keep you laughing. But yeah,
Um,
how long do you think as far as kids go?
I mean, and I can I'll speak for me specifically because I'm turning 50 this year, and
Yeah.
I still like we've talked about this before, and I've said I'm open to either. If I date a woman and we talk about it, and she's like, I want us to have kids, and we've talked about it, then cool. But and then I could also be like, we're dating, we love each other, and we talk about it, and she's like, I don't want to have kids, or I already have kids, I don't want to have any
Right.
kids, and we're in agreement, I'm fine with that too. But I think dude, I don't want to say because of wrinkles, but I was gonna say I don't know. And it also sometimes like I have that joke that I'm going through menopause now. I'm like, I do the joke about having old come. I'm like, is my biological clock like, I'm just like, oh, I got baby fever. But I think, but that's the other thing that's a trip is like right now for me to meet anybody,
Yeah.
and then you don't want to just jump into that. That's obviously a major thing. So yeah, I mean, I would say, you know, if you're living with someone, I'd say if you're living with somebody for a year, but this can also float. Everything is
Yeah,
fluid. So it
totally.
could be,
It's so funny that you said that though, because we know two people who've had kids later in life. So, Donna Rawlings from the Chappelle Show, he is just absolutely head over heels over his kid, but also he's 52 now, right? And I
mhm,
think that his son is like maybe 5, 6 years old. So you start to think about, will I be able to keep up with this kid? David Allen Greer, I think, had his at 50, right? And now
mhm.
he's like 60. So I think he's got like a 10-year-old at 60. And it's like, how do I keep up with this kid? And then also you kind of think about the sad aspect of it. You may not.
Okay.
All right, never mind. Yep, you're
No,
right.
no, no,
Go.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Will they fucking be around when they, yeah, dude, I think Joey Diaz was fucking, might have been 60.
Wow. No
I don't know.
shit.
Actually, I don't even know that. I shouldn't. I think he was up there though, like
Yeah,
probably over 50 when he had his kid.
totally.
Um, and what's funny though too is like I heard this with Joey Diaz, and I think you hear it with a lot of uh probably just dads in general, and maybe not necessarily even older dads, but then they like Joey Diaz started working out and wanted to get in better shape because he wants to be able to walk his
Right.
daughter down the aisle and shit like that. So, um, yeah, I think about all that shit.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
But it's this is the life I live, you
Yeah,
know.
this is the life I chose, son. So no, yeah, but like you said, it's fluid, whatever works for you. But I would say if you're in a new relationship, don't jump into it.
Yeah.
If you're a little bit older, maybe you don't want to, be within that risk window of having older eggs if you're a woman. So just things to think about.
Yeah, you don't want defects.
What is it? Anomalies. That's
Yeah. What this say that word again?
Anomalies. I don't know. Did I say it wrong?
No, but just the first time he said it sounded funny. Uh, you know what? You know what, Manny? We talked about being tired. You
Yeah.
know what? You made my day, buddy.
Goddamn
Just
right I
this,
did.
fucking.
Ah,
I
love
get
you.
on here and I love you, and we fucking start laughing at it.
And we
Fucking.
start putting the love back in people, right? God damn it.
Okay, all right, I'll take the next one.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on how to teach kids about the birds and the bees in this day and age, especially with porn so readily available on mobile devices? Well, you can just fucking set them up with a movie. Come to me with questions afterwards. You know what's funny is I remember, my grandparents. I pretty much raised me, and my grandmother. I already knew about the birds and bees. I was still a virgin, but I remember my grandmother so uncomfortably trying to talk to me about the birds
Yeah.
and the bees. I don't even think we finished the conversation, but in my head I was like, I don't want to have this talk. I'm good, but oh god. Um that's actually a great question, especially with the porn so available. Yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on how to teach kids about the birds and the bees in this day and age? I mean, you know, I think excuse me, like kids' knowledge keeps getting like they're younger and younger
Yeah.
as they are learning shit and finding stuff out. And even without porn sites, I mean, I know that there's all kinds of stuff you can put on computers and phones to not allow people to go to certain sites. But I mean, so they hear the word sex. Oh, it's sex. They can just Google sex,
Yeah.
and read about that. I mean, so I, man, I guess I would uh probably I think that my thinking would be to not make it be an uncomfortable thing. Like
Right.
if you talk about it openly, not not like, hey, me and mom are gonna go fuck, so here, let's tell you what that is. But
Yeah.
but you have a penis, girls have vaginas, and this is how babies are made, and
Right.
but you just, I think if you make it uncomfortable, then it's going to be uncomfortable. But if you say it just like you would say, like, hey, this is how a toaster works, I mean,
Right. Yeah, no, I think that's it's so true. I think the one thing, especially with young kids, is teaching kids about consent first. You know what I mean? And like, it's so important from a young age to be like, hey, this is what's inappropriate. You don't let anybody touch you in this way or form. First you got to address that. Then when they're old enough, I think it's really about um, teaching them that if they, things don't happen like porn. So if you have a girl, maybe teaching them and telling them to like, hey, like if somebody tries like anal with you the first time, that's not, you know what I mean? Like that's real. Cause I guess like young
unless you're
boys,
Catholic.
there you go, or Mormon. I hear that's the, so, but I guess that somewhere I read this is that boys try that on, like girls at, that now, I mean, I'd never fathomed that in the beginning. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh my God, like, it's like, I didn't even know where vagina was. I thought it was a lot higher up. You know what I
I
mean?
still
Like,
don't.
yeah, exactly. So, I think that,
Where's the GPS?
exactly. So, I mean, one, teaching consent, two, teaching them the norms. And like, if anybody makes you feel uncomfortable, it's okay to say no. And especially with boys, teaching them that, hey, you know what I mean? Like, being respectful, and also teaching them what consent is a huge thing. And I hope that I answered that. But, also teaching them that like, hey man, porn is not,
Yeah.
isn't normal,
Yeah,
like sex.
it's
Nobody just spits on it and it just, sort of goes like, I don't know. So
Wait, you spit on people's vaginas?
no, I mean, like, you don't just spit out you don't spit on your dick and it
Wait,
just
show
go.
me.
Yeah.
What the fuck was
I don't know what
that?
the fuck was that. That was one of my favorite jokes, is where you were like, and then I have to like spit and go,
Oh yeah,
"Bleh."
yeah. Okay. My, it's funny is my dad. We might have talked about this before. I like love and commitment and relationship. All those views I
Mm-hmm.
would get from my grandparents, and then so it's like in one ear I'd have my grandmother. That's like, always treat women with respect, never raise
Yeah.
your voice, blah blah blah. Okay, grandma. Okay, and then in the other ear is my dad. never believe a woman when she says she's on the pill. Women will
Yep.
try and get you for this and that, and I can always wear a fucking Jimmy.
Dude, I still remember my mom. She was the person who had the sex conversation with me. Must have been third grade. She came in and she was like, "Do you know how babies are made?" And I'm like, "Yes, mom, I know how babies are made." And she was like, "How?" I was like, "From kissing a lot, duh." You know what I mean? And she was like, "You idiot." So, it's like, especially going to Catholic school, I don't think, no, I think they taught us in Catholic school. You know
Oh,
what I
really?
mean? Like, yeah, not,
Progressive.
yeah, I know. I thought you were going to make a priest joke, but,
Yeah, a lot of
but
kissing.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, they taught us, at third grade, I think. And I think once we went to, when I was in public school, it was like fifth grade that they teach you the whole thing. And and here's another question for you, Jay.
Yes, Manny.
Let's say you had a gay son.
Yes.
How would you, I guess, teach them about sex?
Uh, I mean, I would do it the same thing. I mean, like if I, obviously, uh, this reminds me of my buddy Pablo, who's gay, and how it's a whole long story, but where he was like, I had always thought he was gay, and like I came out, he was my boss at Yahoo,
Yeah.
and one point, he was saying that he had his date for the Christmas party, and I started laughing. He was like, "What's so funny?" I was like, "Oh, it doesn't matter." And he goes, "No, what is it?" I go, "Oh, what's their name?" I didn't say his or her. I'm
Yeah.
trying to find out, and he
Right,
goes,
right,
and then he responded with, "Oh, you don't know them." And so I started laughing because I was like, "Is he fucking with me?" And
Yeah, yeah,
so finally he was like, "What's so funny?" I was like, "Not that it matters, but I always wondered if you were gay." And so
yeah.
keep in mind, this is my fucking boss at the
Yeah, yeah,
time.
yeah.
And
Mhm.
he goes, "Oh, so why do you think I'm gay, Jay?" And in my head, I was like, "Why the fuck did I say this?" Right? So he was a huge Madonna fan. I was like, "Well, there's the whole Madonna thing." And he goes, "Jay, lots of straight people like Madonna. That's just ignorant." And I'm like, "Okay, you know what? That's cool. We don't have to talk about it. Don't worry about it." Blah, blah. So he was gay. He was fucking with me the whole
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
But that's my whole point of what got me on that tangent. I was going to say,
yeah.
if I have a son and maybe I'm getting the vibes that, I wonder if he's, I would like to think that I would be, you hear like the horrible stories, and then you hear like the best stories when some like they're you see like a viral video where someone's like, "I'm gonna come out to my mom or my dad tonight, and I'm so scared," or whatever, and then they react like, sometimes they're just like, "Honey, I already
Yeah,
knew,"
exactly.
and
Yeah.
then like, "Ah," you know.
Yeah, dude.
So I would like to think that I would be like the most awesomest of success stories. So if I'm getting a vibe like, I wonder if he, and maybe he's having difficulties, or maybe even questioning himself, um, beforehand,
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, I would probably let him come to me to say it.
Yeah.
And then once he did, I mean, at that point, he probably is, if we've already had the regular sex talk,
Right.
or heterosexual sex talk, then I guess, I don't know. I mean, I would assume he probably knows what homosexual sex is,
Right, right.
so I mean, as far as having the talk with it, it's not, now it's the bees and the bees talk, not the birds
Yeah,
and
yeah, exactly.
just,
It's so funny that you say that because my nephew, I think that he was like he moved away for a few years and then he came back. And when he came back, like he was a little cold to me at first. And then when I was just like, I basically we all knew he was like gay. And I was like, "So any guys that are like, good looking, that you're liking?" And he was like, "Oh, he's safe." You know what I mean?
oh yeah,
And so
yeah,
then he opened up to me. And because I think it's a very kind of, is faux pas the word, as far as or it's one of those things that's kind of taboo in the black
oh yeah, yeah.
community where it's like, you know, it's there's quite a
How
few
old's your
people.
nephew?
He's in his teens. He's like early teens.
Okay.
So yeah, yeah. But it's interesting to me though, because it's like there's a big portion of the black community that does accept it, and then there's a big portion that doesn't. And I think that he's actually had some encounters with some family members that
Mm.
are like, "No, he's not. He just hasn't figured it out yet." It's like, dude, I knew when he was like playing with Barbies and asking, doing funny shit, and asking me like goofy questions at a young age. So it was interesting that when he did come back, he was very closed off to what's so funny.
It's so wrong. So
Go
I
for it.
don't.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? All right, tell me
When
afterwards.
you
So
you said that, I'll just fucking say it
yeah,
because
yeah,
people are like, "What
yeah,
was
yeah.
it, Jay?" When you were saying like, what were you just saying? You said something like,
He was asking me some goofy questions.
yeah, like why is your dick hard?
That's so fucking wrong. But it's
Why
like
is it so salty? All right, that's the last one.
so
So
we just
bad.
want to say here on
Yeah, thank
Love
you.
and Black and White that we do not promote any type of pedophilia or any type of weird
Jesus
shit.
Christ, what is wrong with me?
But we just want to let you guys know that first and foremost, we will always be comedians. We're always
Yeah,
just
yeah,
making light of things, but there is no intent in our heart for
yeah.
anything that's malice.
Dude,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm finish your story and then remind me to tell a story about my one gay buddy when he came out. But
Yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead.
But overall, with my nephew, it was a whole thing of just not knowing who you could trust and wondering if this is the same Uncle Manny that's loved me from when I was little to, now being, a young man, is he going to be accepting of me? And when he found out, he just became himself again, which was
That's
really cool.
awesome,
So, yeah.
dude. That's I Pablo told me about like when he had come out and like what he went through. Like he was crying when he was telling me about like the shit he went through. He was also drunk, but you know how the gays are when they drink. But just kidding. But my other buddy, he did the Hollings Worthless podcast. But dude, his story was fucking crazy. He's Mexican, and when he came out, his family, who he was close with everybody in the family, they had a big family meeting, and he
Mhm.
was not involved or invited, but he was like outside the window listening, and they were all talking about how they were going to kick him out of the family. So
Wow.
after they had the meeting, they called him in and basically told him, okay, you can either from this day forward denounce that you're gay. You can't say you're gay. You got to talk to only women, or we're going to give you $1,000 and then you be on your way and have a good life.
Wow,
And
dude,
that's
that's
what he
so
he
fucked
he
up.
wouldn't. I told him, I was like, and we were going through the podcast and he's crying, and I'm like, dude, you're a stud. You're because he was
Yeah.
like, I wouldn't deny it, and I was like, you're because he kept saying like apologizing for crying and this. I'm like, dude, no, you're fucking. That's like you're a fucking strong human being, dude. That's a
Hell yeah, man. I
takes
mean,
so much.
for for all that you've ever known in family to just be like, oh, we're done with you. Like, fuck them. You know what I mean? Like,
Fucking wild, dude.
yeah, fucking wild. I couldn't imagine, if anybody in my family was just like, hey, I like the same sex. Like, yeah, cool, whatever. Do you? It's like my grandma was always so. It would be the same thing with the whole, with me and Crystal. If somebody was like, oh, you like white women, hey, sorry, either you just date black women or here's $1,000 and buy. It's
I'd be
like,
like, okay,
yeah, exactly.
sorry,
Thanks for the
different
1,000.
family.
But yeah, so that's the one thing, to anybody watching this out there, live your truth. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. And it sucks that you may lose family in the process, but ultimately you want to live your true you. You don't want to have to hide that shit or whatever, is going on in your life because somebody else is uncomfortable. Fuck them.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah.
fuck, dude. I mean, it's a trip too. Is like, and I don't know why I was like this, but growing up, like in high school, I didn't really give a fuck what people thought. Like,
Yeah.
I moved around a lot, but like when I went to Wilson High School in Portland, everybody I knew was from Beaumont Middle School. Like I went to a middle school at Beaumont Middle School, and everybody I hung out with, my neighborhood where my grandparents lived, was pretty much all black people. So I always
Yeah.
hung out with black people, Matt and the Garlingtons that you've met, and James
Mm-hmm.
Hall, Matt and Mark, and who are family to me. And so then I left, and then I came back, and I went to Wilson High School, which is a mixed high school, but
Mm-hmm.
it was funny because the lunchroom was segregated. Like in the left corner, all the black people sat. In the middle back was like what was the popular people,
Right.
right, with like the fucking goth people. And I was the only white person pretty much over in but because that's who I grew up with. That's everybody who I knew. But
Exactly.
I didn't give a fuck because I was like, I I the I know who I'm friends with, who I'm going to be friends with for life. I don't know why I had that maturity, I guess, or knowledge at that age, but I just didn't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about these dipshits over here. Matt and Mark are
Yeah,
family to me. James is family to me. I know I give a fuck what they think. I don't give a fuck what,
exactly.
and
It's so
that's why I didn't do the when I graduated, I didn't do the little walk across because I didn't give a fuck. I was like, ooh,
yeah.
I don't need to prove it to anybody.
Yeah, it's always so fascinating to me because it's like the people who were essentially popular in high school, most of them ended up becoming drug addicts. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like addicted to meth or all kind of shit. So, or like it's so funny. Somebody told me the same week that I was on like Comedy Central was the same week that they were defending one of our classmates in jail. So it was like fucking crazy, man. It's just like to see two lives going in completely different
Yeah.
directions.
Dude was in jail going, hey, I don't look good.
He's like, the motherfucker took my jokes.
Yeah. Don't turn that channel. I'll fucking shake you.
Oh man. All right. Well, moving on to the next thing
Yes,
that we
sir.
got on here. Oh, this is a great question. If your partner is awful at something, but they love it, do you tell them or let them enjoy, i.e., singing, comedy, dancing? If so, how do you tell them? And then I guess the reverse question is if it were you, would you want to know?
Oh man. Okay, so okay, let's pick a thing that this person. Let's say they're painting. They like to paint,
Okay.
and it's fucking awful. To where you're like, oh, it's great. That's great. I love what you did with that little puppy. That's my mom. No, I guess no. Well, one, if it's something like that, like a artistic thing, whether it's comedy, music, or whatever, I would support because also a lot of shit's up for interpretation. Like
Right.
maybe they are awful at stand up, or it's not my type of humor, but there's an audience for it. And I would also maybe try and, if there's some way I can help, if I have knowledge in it, or not mansplain, right? I don't want to
Yeah,
mansplain,
yeah.
even though
Okay.
I'm a man, and that's how I would explain it from a man's point of view. No, but I would, like, let's say she's awful at dancing, and I'd be like, maybe as a gift, I got you these dance classes. I know you
Yeah,
love
yeah.
dancing. I'll do it with you or not, whatever you want. So I would support,
Okay.
even if
Wait.
she's bad at, yeah.
We're gonna do scenario here.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we got to
I
come
mean,
up with like.
I pretty much was talking to a girl that was awful at comedy.
Okay, let's do comedy. I
No,
feel
no,
like
no.
we.
Do the one you were talking.
Well, I was gonna do comedy.
Oh,
So
okay.
okay, so let's do a. I feel like we need like an intro thing, like it's time for another. What like something? Act out. I don't know.
Fucking, it's time for
Act
another
out.
caveman.
Time for another caveman
What do
act
we
out.
call it? What do they call it? Scenario.
Yeah, another
Scenario.
time. Time for another scenario act out. Okay, so I just got off. My Karen with a Q. R is a 7. So I just got off stage and didn't got 2 laughs. I got 2 laughs. You sat in the back. I got 2 laughs, but I just got off stage. Okay, I'm coming over to
Oh
you.
God, I think I know where you're going with this.
Okay, you ready? Here we
The
go.
thing I fucking hate that comics
Yep,
do. Oh.
yep. And we know quite a few of these and people who actually headline and say some of this shit. So here we go. Hey Jay, oh my god, I just killed it
You
on fucking
motherfucker.
stage.
We're
Boom.
over.
Oh my god, what happened?
No, we're done. No.
Oh my god,
Like,
babe, I just killed it on stage. Did you hear all that laughter? I
I
feel like
did.
I
I
feel like I
did.
got a standing ovation.
Okay, hold on. Before,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
how did she? Okay, did she get any laughs or none?
She got 2 laughs, but they were very like it
And
was
it was
almost like
courtesy, like.
yeah, it was like it's like Coming to America with Randy Watson.
Okay, so she bombed. She
So
didn't.
she
She didn't
bombed.
just not get laughs. She pretty much bombed.
And just like some of the comics we know, in their head, they heard
Right.
roarous laughter with stand-up applause, all that.
Yeah, this is for those that listening. This is a thing that a lot of comics do, is where they'll get off stage and immediately they tweet out or fucking Instagram, just got off crushed,
Just
destroyed, fucking killed, blah blah blah, and then you'll be at the show and you'll see that post and you're like, did he do another set that I didn't see? And Manny and I have always been where we always say, like, let other people do that shit, like be your biggest critic and your smallest cheerleader.
And the thing I love about us is that we could have the best set and everybody could be like, dude, you fucking crushed it. And we'll be like, that was a shit set.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I didn't get laughs here, and here.
Yeah,
And I'm
fuck it,
yeah.
forgot this tag. Fuck.
Exactly. Yeah. I stumbled
Um
over this line.
okay, so she did not. Now is this an open mic or is this like a
Yeah, it's
show? It's
open
an
mic.
okay, it's
Open
an
mic.
open mic. All right,
Yeah, yeah.
okay. Hit me.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, what's up,
Jay.
Karen?
Oh my God, boo. I just fucking killed it. You know what I mean? I think I'm on your level of comedy now, babe. I think I'm about to, fuck, I might hit the Apollo next.
You should. You
Oh,
should. Yeah.
thank you so
You
much.
should did you
I'm gonna
tape
take it.
did you tape your set?
I didn't. I need to. I know that you said tape it, but you know what? Maybe I should tape the next one.
Tape it and then because you can watch the video and like maybe you'll see something that you got to laugh at that you didn't think or see like what's working, what's not. Yeah.
But babe, I saw you smiling in the back. I killed it. I
Well,
fucking
I was
killed it.
talking to Manny. We were talking about the podcast and stuff.
Okay. All right.
You know what's funny is like,
Yeah.
dude, I would, because I think I did this with fucking Burdette back in the day. I would be
Yeah.
calling you going, I don't know what the fuck to do, man. She's fucking eating a turd sandwich and she thinks she's going.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay. How would I fucking? Okay. So I'll tell you a conversation me and Burdette actually had.
Okay. Yeah.
Because right now you're not. You haven't fucking. I'm setting myself up for the shitty scenario, but you haven't asked me what I thought. You're just saying like, oh, I killed, I crushed. Did you see it? Blah blah blah. Yeah. And I can just be like, yeah, man, you did it. You did your time.
Okay, so it finally comes.
Hold on, you
okay,
motherfucker.
go ahead.
We'll do it, but this is with Burdette, like, because you know me, I won't just be like somebody could come up to me and be like, man, you crushed tonight or great set, and they could have been on the show, and I won't just say, yeah, man, you too. I will not do that unless it's valid. I don't give out half heart or horse shit.
It's so sad because I do the exact opposite and I need to stop that shit because it's like somebody will say you had a great set and then I'm just like, I just feel like I have to reciprocate, dude, you too. And then they're like this, Jay. They're like, I didn't even go up tonight. I'm like, oh, my bad.
Yeah, I'll tell them. I'll go, oh, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm trying to work some new shit or whatever.
Yeah.
The other night, like when I did the stuff about my mom passing, like I was all over the place. I forgot shit. And like the first show I did it, they were like, dude, that was perfect. That was fucking great. I was like, really? I was like, all right. I mean, I gave it like a 6. But anyways, one time Burdette had, so she, after a show, she was like, hey, or I think a comic had asked me something or I gave him a tag or something. And she goes, I see you give other comics tags and stuff. And, you never give me any. I was just, how come you? And I was like, dude, it was fucking brutal. But so I guess this is kind of the scenario. I was honest. I go, you're getting laughs. So what you're doing is working, but it's just, I don't get it. I don't get it. So I don't know how to tag it up.
Right.
Which is true. And I think a lot of comics, when they're trying to help other comics out, they just think of the quickest common denominator of funny rather than, is this funny for this person's point of view or voice, which I always try and, if I'm giving somebody a tag, or I think it's like, I hear a tag or think of a tag in the moment while you're on stage. My next thing is like, is that their voice? Would Manny say like, I like to pop that chick's pussy? Man, probably not.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing that we've always done is we've always tried to think in the other person's voice. Like, does this fit their cadence, their character? But okay, so now I'm gonna hit you with so babe, how do you think I did tonight?
Well, I know you got all your stuff out, so that's good. You did all the tags you wanted, and you did the new stuff. You're trying new stuff. I think you should. I mean, it was fine. You got some laughs, but I think you should tape it, record it, and count your laughs per minute.
Okay. Well, the last thing
I just thought that's genius because it lets her.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know you got a show coming up this weekend. Do you think I could feature for you or like, do a guest spot?
Oh, they said we couldn't have any guest spots. Sorry.
Oh, well, I know you're headlining. Maybe you could pull some strings.
I asked him because Manny had hit me up and I couldn't even get Manny one.
Maybe Manny. Let me talk to Manny and see if he'll
Yeah, go
like give
for
up.
it. Go for it. Fucking go for it.
Fucking
Manny's the
genius.
booker. He'll fucking let you headline.
You handled that perfectly. If I were to answer that same question, as long as it's not putting them.
Wait, no. Here,
Oh
let's do
yeah,
the
okay.
scenario.
All right, all
Okay.
right, all right. Let's
So
do it.
now
Let's do
I'm
it.
who am I? What's is it Karen again or
Yeah,
fucking?
yeah.
I'm Crystal. I'm Crystal. I'm
Okay,
doing
okay.
stand up now.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey honey, did you see? I did it.
Yes, that was awful.
You're so full of shit.
I'm just playing. Yeah, go ahead. All right, yeah,
Did you
yeah.
see
Hey,
it? Did
I
you see?
did. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was
What'd you
great.
think?
It was. You did great.
What was your favorite part?
I was talking to Jay. I didn't. No, I'm just playing. The start, the middle, and the end. It was all
No, I
perfect.
mean like which line was your favorite?
The one that you said about me. Like he ain't shit. That
Oh,
was
about your
yeah.
little dick?
Yeah, yeah, that was funny. That it was an outie belly button. Woo!
Yeah. All right. So what do you think I should any advice on what I should work on?
I'm gonna give you the J advice. Make sure you tape it. Make sure that you watch it
You
back. And just,
motherfucker.
but I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, that is the best advice for anything, right? It's like, with singing, if they were singing, listen to it back. What do you think? Would you buy this album? With comedy, this makes you laugh, but you also have to think about what is,
Oh
you'll when
man.
you hear the audience, are they laughing with
Yeah.
you or are
I'm
they
trying to
just,
really put myself that like
yeah,
we did our quick reaction. Now I'm really trying to think like somebody I love or care about or whatever, and it's their
yeah.
first time going up, or maybe they're whatever they've been doing it, and they don't know. I would be like, oh my god,
Yeah,
what
it's
the fuck?
interesting when Crystal made that movie that she made. Um, there were certain things that I was like, I would probably do this in the movie as opposed to this. But ultimately, I was like, this is your decision. This is your story. This is your vision. Go then. And luckily, she has a really good eye for things, so she noticed things that I didn't, and it showed up great at the very end on film. So, if it was somebody who didn't, um have that sense of awareness. I mean, I think that I would have to kind of, I would hate for them to be embarrassed on a different level. If it's something that they love, if it's just painting, great. But if it's like, if it's comedy, I don't want them to have to make an ass out of themselves. So I would say, hey, do the open mic, but let's go ahead and record it so you can see exactly what happened. Because I guarantee you the next time you watch it back, I remember thinking my first set I crushed, and then watching it back and being like, God damn,
Oh,
years
dude, I
later.
cannot watch mine. Oh.
Yeah, I can't even watch myself regular. I can't even watch normal shit that I do.
Now the reverse.
Yeah.
You're trying acting. Well,
Hmm.
fuck no, because I think you'll probably be like me, where I would not have confidence in my acting. Um,
Yeah, not at all. Same here.
fucking basketball.
Okay.
You're back in shape. You're playing basketball,
Yeah.
and you. Oh, that's good. I mean, anyways, you're like, yeah, I think I might go out for the CBA.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
would you want her? How would you want her to tell you no? Don't do
I,
it, or
yeah.
you're not there.
Yeah. I think honestly, just be like, you know what, babe, you are not there. It's like it would hurt, but at least I would be aware because it's like if I'm seeing something in my mind and I'm thinking I'm hitting shots from all over the court or that I'm actually keeping up with people, I would rather them be honest. I like
Yeah.
I'd have a sense of pride, like, or let's say for instance boxing, right? If I'm getting into boxing and she's like, babe, you did not, and I'm thinking I'm like holding my own, but I'm getting my ass whooped in the ring. I was like, yeah, I took a few shots, but I definitely gave them back. You know what I mean? I would be like, I would hope somebody would be like, you are going to get fucking hurt. You
Yeah.
did not do well during these sparring sessions. Just, let it
And
go and let's just train for fun.
I think with like if it's something I'm not good at or I don't know how to do that
Yeah.
I'm taking up, I think all along the way I'm going to be asking questions like, "Hey, am I doing this right?" or "Fucking what?"
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it would come as a big shock because I would be getting feedback the whole time because I'll be asking for it. That's one
Yeah.
thing from when I taught martial arts. We had the primary and the secondary, and one of the jobs of a secondary is you always got to give feedback. So as the person doing a technique, you always have to be open to getting criticism and like being told, hey, you're doing this part right, you got to adjust this and blah blah blah. Not
Exactly.
and just take the information. Don't be like, hey man, or whatever.
Yeah.
um all right, so let's do our teaser for next
Yeah.
next episode. You want to say it?
The bottom one?
The one that says teaser.
Oh, I think I hold on. I don't see it in
Here,
there.
I'll do it.
All right, go for it.
Okay, what two things do you value most in a partner?
Ooh, okay. All
That'll
right, I
be the
like that.
that'll be the teaser for episode
So
24.
so to the fans, there's two teasers in this. So what two things do you value most in your partner? And on top of that, we're gonna do a live show. So we would love for you guys to actually tune in live. We'll promote it this week. But we would love for you guys to tune in
Next
and
week.
just
Yeah,
next
this
week. Yeah.
weekend leading up to next week. It'll be we're doing it on Monday.
Yeah, or do you think it'd be better to do it on Tuesday? Because if we do it live, I mean, should it be on the Love and Black and White? No, I guess let's do it Monday because
Yeah.
then that way we can post it
We
Tuesday for
could
people.
we could even do it Sunday
Okay,
because
yeah,
there's
yeah.
no football and people are off.
Whoa, slow down, Jay. I just want to say it's Valentine's Day and I am
Oh,
in
is
a
that Sunday?
relationship. Yes.
Oh, okay. Should be all right. No,
Yeah, that'd be
all right,
hilarious.
Monday. Monday,
Okay, Monday.
Monday. What time are we saying? 5:30
Yeah,
Pacific?
yeah. 5:30 Pacific because I think that gives people enough time to be off work and tune in with us and ask us the most crazy questions and we will do our best to answer them and we will be putting the love back in you.
Yeah, and you can also, if you have questions you want us to have ahead of time, you can write in at bigirishj@gmail.com, bigirishjay@gmail.com, or if you don't want me to see it and you want to just send it to Manny.
Yeah, I don't do my best about checking my emails, but send it to, I'm just kidding. If you guys send it, do Manny Martin Jr. at gmail.com. And just make sure that you put in the title Love in Black and White or LIBW. And I will make sure to get that and get it in our notes for next week. And I thank you so much for tuning in. But do you have anything you want to plug?
Oh, I got dates in I'll be in Tacoma, Spokane, and Sacramento in March. You can go to bigirishj.com and click on the link there.
Totally. And do me a favor, tune in on Wednesday for the Hollingsworth list. We have some great stuff that we're going to talk about, and you won't be disappointed. I'm sure Phil will have some crazy shit going on this week,
Yeah,
and
of course.
White
Always.
Jay-Z always brings it. So,
Which is not
but
me.
yeah, no.
I'm Suge White.
But yeah, do me a favor, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Give us a rating or review. Hopefully it's a good one. Hopefully we didn't let you down this episode. But until then, Jay, we'll be doing what?
Putting the love back in you, right?
Uh.
It's love in black and
And
anal.
white.
What? White. Okay.
So stupid.